If you are watching this video, then you are most likely wanting to improve your athleticism, or at least know how to improve your athleticism. We don't really need much of an intro, so I'm going to get right into it. So the number one question I get is, how can I transform my vertical jump? And the answer that I'm going to give, this just for the broad answer, is plyometric exercise. Plyos were oh goodness gracious, plyos were popularized in the 60s and or late 60s, early 70s by the Soviet Union. Plyos will either be very advantageous to you or very detrimental. Athletes tend to either do too many plyos, not enough plyos, do too many reps, not enough reps, do too many sets, not enough sets, have too much rest, not enough rest. So we have to meet in the middle. And I don't think a lot of athletes, especially younger athletes, know exactly how to do that. So this video hopefully will help. So what are plyometrics? So my definition of plyometrics is, I don't really have a definition. I just say jump exercises or jump movements. If you're doing something that involves a jump, that's a plyometric. But the actual definition of a type of exercise that involves rapid and explosive movements that utilize the stretch shortening cycle of your muscles. Now, how often should you be doing plyos? If you are a healthy, especially experienced athlete, you need to be doing some form of plyos daily. I'm referring to what's called submaximal plyos, and that's like pogo jumps, jump rope, any kind of low impact plyometric exercises. And so how I do a lot of my plyometric exercises, especially jump rope and pogo jumps, I don't go off of reps, I go off of time. So instead of, 2 sets or 3 sets of 30 reps, I like to do 3 sets of 30 seconds and just do as many reps as I can. And of course, I like to track my progress to just improve the training quality. You're going to obviously want to push yourself, trying to get more reps in the first or in the second set than you did in the first set, trying to get more reps in the third set than you did your second set. It just makes you more competitive, and you want competitiveness in your training. So submaximal plyos daily for most athletes. I want to say 16 and up. Another thing you want to do is you want to test your vertical jump. Trust me when I say this, you want to test your vertical jump every single week if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, if you're dealing with any kind of injury, knee pain, ankle pain, whatever it may be, don't test your vertical that week. So submaximal plyos daily, max intent vertical jump testing once a week. And you want to be doing, a plyometric exercise 2 to 3 times a week. For example, you can have, say on Monday, you do squats, leg curl, calf raise, leg extensions, whatever. How I would do it is I would do squats, drop jumps, seated jumps, calf raise, pogo jumps, rhythmic reverse tap jumps. Just incorporate a lot more plyometrics into your workout. How many reps, how many sets, and what should our rest be? So I like to go for 3 to 4 sets of 2 to 5, mostly 2 to 4 reps, but sometimes 2 to 5 reps with full recovery. So 2 to 3 minutes recovery. And I know what you're thinking. I don't need 3 minutes. I'm in shape. What you need 3 minutes. I need 3 minutes, and I've been doing this for about 13, 14 years. I'm telling you, you may feel like you're, fully recovered, but there's a lot that goes into recovery. It's not just how you feel, it's how your body feels and how your body actually is. 2 to 4 sets of 2 to 5 reps ish, with full recovery being 2 to 3 minutes. So now that y'all know what plyos are and how often you should do them, why you should do them, when you should do them, I'm going to tell y'all my top plyometric exercises that you need to add into your workout immediately. Number 1 is the drop jump, or depth drop, whatever you want to call it. It's where you're on an elevated surface of about 24 to 48 inches max, and you are stepping off of that box, and immediately upon impact on the ground, you jump up as high as you can. And this exercise is one of the most, if not the most powerful, that will improve your vertical. I said the I word again. That will transform your vertical jump in the shortest amount of time possible. This exercise improves your reactive strength development, obviously improves your stretch shortening cycle. And if you don't know what the stretch shortening cycle is, I'm going to save that for another video. Drop jumps, when done right, increases tendon stiffness, which leads to overall transformed athleticism. So drop jumps is my number one. So number two, we got seated jumps. And the optimal knee angle for seated jumps is anywhere from 90 degrees to 110 degrees. And you can do this exercise many ways. The best way you can do this exercise is with a partner, or if you have some kind of tool where you jump based off of a signal. So you can have your partner to like clap, and as soon as you hear that clap, you jump. Or you can just do, you know, regular seated jumps where you just go whenever you feel like it. Both very beneficial. You can also do resisted seated jumps, and this goes with drop jumps as well. Resisted drop jumps, resisted seated jumps. You can add resistance to any plyometric let me think about that. Yeah, you can definitely add resistance to basically any plyometric exercise. Has been shown to recruit more muscle fibers, but there's pros and cons to everything. You don't want to do all of your plyometric exercises with resistance because you're not really improving your rates of force. You're leaning more towards how much force it can produce, especially if you're using, you know, more than 20% body weight, 25% body weight. So you definitely want to keep a balance between your resisted plyometric exercises and your body weight, or assisted plyometric exercises. You can do 33% body weight, 33% assisted plyos, and 33% resisted plyos. You know, just make sure you get a mixture, and it doesn't have to be, you know, split evenly like that, but you just want to make sure you have assisted plyos in your workout, resisted plyos in your workout, and bodyweight plyos in your workout. And next, this is an exercise that I've just been doing. I don't know if it has a name, but I just call it rhythmic reverse tap jumps. Stepping back, you know, this is from a 2 to 4 inch elevated surface, and as soon as you hit the ground, get right back up as quick as possible. You want to land on the balls of your feet, and this exercise is definitely going to improve your Achilles tendon stiffness, which, as we all know, is very, very beneficial for improving overall athleticism, especially vertical jump. So the next plyo I'm going to give you is the resisted jumping plyometric exercise. This is probably one of the most popular, you know, plyo exercises or jump exercises, but it's not done correctly all the time. A lot of individuals, a lot of athletes use more resistance than they should, you know, like 25, 30% of their body weight. I fall into that category sometimes. I'm feeling it. I'm not going to lie. Forgive me. There's still some benefits from doing that, but it's not optimal, if you know what I'm saying. And other athletes don't use enough resistance, like 5% body weight. You know, they just use 5-10 pound dumbbells because they don't jump high. They feel like if I have 20-30 pounds holding me down, then I'm definitely not going to be jumping high, and it's kind of embarrassing. But to do resisted jumps correctly, you need to have at least, I like to stay within a 10 to 20% body weight range. If you're 200 pounds, 20% of 200, let me think. Oh, it's 40 pounds, right? Yeah, 20% of 200 is 40 pounds. So if you're a 200 pound athlete, you want to have anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds of total resistance, so 15 to 20 pound dumbbells. So those exercises will take your vertical jump and overall athleticism to the next level. But let me just say, as a little bonus tip, there are a few things that you want to avoid. Avoid fatigue. You should never feel, I mean, you're going to feel fatigued every once in a while, but you really don't want to feel fatigued when you're doing plyometric exercises. If you feel any fatigue, take a little rest, you know, especially if you have 2 to 3 more sets. Plyos aren't for endurance. They're for improving our velocity, our rate of force, along with improving how much force we can produce with the resisted Plyometrics. So yeah, so if you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you don't like and subscribe, you're missing out on future contents. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Until the next video, we're out.